Okay, so I don't need the um I don't need the multi-stream plugin then if we're gonna do it like that. Okay, cool. It is super hot. My hair is a mess, and I'm in a workout tee or a workout tank top, however you want to call it. I hope that it's good. The creator studio is not popping up. Um, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, cool. I guess I'm live. Let me see. I guess I'm live. Okay, I am live on. Almost dropped my damn phone. I'm live on YouTube, but nothing's coming up behind the scenes. God. Um, we had a small technical difficulty. Small technical difficulty. Yo, MD, what's up? I don't even know if you can hear me. Um, okay, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't understand why my connection is not stable, even though it is stable. Uh, it's always Twitch, man. Twitch is something. Um, so if I were to do this error fail connected stream, am I still live? Like, what the fuck is happening? Probably. I got 4 people. All right, so I don't know what is happening, and I don't want to stop the stream to start it again. I believe I'm good. I believe I'm good. I'm live 2 times. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, never mind. You're never mind. You're also on the YouTube side of things. All right, cool. Cool. Got it. I believe in Joe Hendry too. I am planning a very special standalone episode about Joe Hendry and like watching his matches and watching the parody videos, and it's gonna probably be behind a paywall, just so you know. Thank you for believing in me too. I appreciate that, MD. But yeah, I really do enjoy what Joe Henry is doing. I feel like I say his name wrong because of Hendry, you know. Um, so I guess everything is good. That I am being seen and heard over on the YouTube side of things, and also seen and heard on the you know, uh, Twitch side of things. You love to see my shoulders. Uh, see my shoulders and my little I don't know if I can. Yeah, I think I still have some muscle. I haven't like I haven't been to the gym at all. I haven't really done anything. I probably should be doing stuff like working out and whatnot, but I haven't gotten around to working out. So you guys get to see some really old muscles. Yeah. uh my calves are thick as hell, man. Like my calves are thick as hell. I don't know, it would be appropriate if I just like show you guys my calves, but they're thick as hell. That's because like am I trying to suplex and chill? Probably. I don't know. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, I got some like thick ass I'm gonna snooze this ad. But I got some thick ass calves. Um, and yeah. I used to like play sports and whatnot. And they just stood. I don't really work out, but they're nice and like thick. You know, usually if I'm wearing, I mean, I've been wearing shorts like the past couple of days anyway. So if anyone sees my thick ass thighs and calves, it's all because of like walking, a little bit of like sports and whatnot. Right now I'm fucking sweating. I am sweating. The whole point for today is that I really wanted to celebrate Jacob Fatu. I really, really do. Jacob Fatu is the most incredible guy that you can meet, even though he's a badass. He's a badass guy. Um, he's definitely a badass guy. And before we continue going further, let me just let me see something. Uh, because I used this once and give me a second. Is that what I want? I don't think that's what I want. No. But whatever. I'm gonna do that. But um I heard Rikishi is starting his own school for big wrestlers called Oh my god. Dude, that's a that joke, man. That joke. God, that joke. Yeah. I sort of wanted to slow down the timer bots, but I totally forgot how to do that in my own thing. I've been only been using the restream for like a bit. That's all. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to celebrate Jacob Fatu, because I had the chance to meet with him and interview him and gush over the fact that he called me sis at one point, like sister. Um, and that was when I was doing media press for MLW, and I will always cherish those moments, and even getting a ride to the bus over in Philly, and like being in the car and shit and having a fun time like trying to get home was awesome. Uh he's from Sacramento. Like he's from Cali. But I don't think he's from Oakland. He should be probably from either like Sacramento or probably San Francisco, like one of those. Um, that's what I think anyway. But I know like he's somewhere in Cali, somewhere in Cali. But other than that, like it's really fun to see how far Jacob Fatu has come. And then the fact that Jacob Fatu debuted on SmackDown. I did kind of feel like SmackDown was rushed, even though I came home like 30 minutes late after going to City Island here in New York City and whatnot. So yeah, he's from the Bay Area. So I got home like 30 minutes late, so I was asking people to catch me up on SmackDown, and I appreciate that for people catching me up on SmackDown. But we are going to go through some SmackDown highlights. We are going to talk about it. We are going to watch it to the best of our ability. And yeah, it kind of did feel rushed, but not in a way where you're like, whoa, why is this like rush? It wasn't really noticeable. And that's probably because like I was cooking dinner. So, to me it felt like rush, but the payoff for it to feel rush was great. So we're definitely going to be talking about like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, cuz that thing, man, like their feud is going to be so good. If you guys don't know, on my podcast episode, the recent one, I was like, hey, who do you think will benefit from the payoff when it comes to the end of the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre feud? Like, who is really gonna be the payoff? Who is it? Who is it gonna benefit? I should say that. Um, it probably should benefit one of the guys, but I don't know who. So basically, what I made last night for dinner was I had leftover rice, and I had bought like a family pack of what do you call it? Turkey slices in gravy, and I just put that in the oven and heat it up. I didn't do anything too fancy, and then I like cooked up some corn with butter. But yeah, nothing like fancy, because going out all the way to City Island and then coming back, I don't really want to cook anything extravagant. It's not like tonight where I'm cooking something with like chicken, but still haven't figured out what that would be. Um, I mean, I am half Italian, so like I will let that one go. I will let that one go. um, but yeah, so like we'll get into all of this, and then also like people can ask their questions. I know John Moxley is such a tiring topic on this channel, because sometimes like I get tired of it too. I get tired of him basically, but I can tell that he doesn't. I can tell that John Moxley does not know the difference between wrestling and MMA. And what Bloodsport is currently doing is like trying to blur the lines between wrestling and MMA to try to like fuse the two together. And I'm not against like fusing things together. Like if you want to create a fusion of like different types of culture, sound, music, people, whatever, that's totally fine. Like I think that doing that kind of stuff is very beneficial for humanity and learning together and stuff. So I really do think that Moxley does not know the difference between MMA and wrestling, and it's kind of sad. It really, really is. And I know that MD over here put yawn to Moxie. I get that. I didn't get the chance to read that above the Puerto Rican and Italian. Yeah, the Puerto Rican and Italian. I can make spaghetti, and I can sort of make mofongo. Like I don't really make mofongo, but I could cook you like a penne. I could cook you, arroz con gandules and stuff. So like, I could do that. I make the best of both worlds. Okay, I could do that. But yeah, like, I just feel like Moxie doesn't know anything, and people put him on a pedestal and want to be like, he's God, he's this, he's the savior. Like, oh my God, like no. I guess while we're on the topic, I guess I'll just get it out of my system so that we can enjoy SmackDown and stuff. But I will say that yeah, so like, first of all, why are you giving a what do you call it? A promo um at when you're bleeding? Like, why are you doing that? He absolutely like made no sense at all. When he was bleeding, cutting his promo and stuff like that, saying that this is great, this is awesome, this is what professional wrestling is. And professional wrestling throughout the years have definitely evolved. This is what people don't understand. When people talk about professional wrestling and being in its purest form, you don't think of what you currently see in Bloodsport. Bloodsport is like a combination of like wrestling and MMA, but trying to mask it as it not being MMA in a way, so that way everybody can have a chance and whatnot. But for Moxley to even be like, you know, this is the purest form. The purest form of wrestling is Greco-Roman wrestling, and that was just for like technique. It wasn't even like, let's you know, let's create characters and whatnot. Greco-Roman was just like, who could be the best? Who can, throw who? Like, let's learn these techniques. And we kind of use the techniques anyway in almost in everyday life, depending on what you do. Yeah, the purest form of wrestling is the NCAA. Exactly, because that's all like throwing your opponent, besting your opponent, using your opponent's momentum, using your opponent's strength against them. In professional wrestling, we made it so entertainment like with defying physics and gravity and all this kind of stuff. And I say it all the time that wrestling is the purest form of theater, because you have to play a character. You have to know how to get the crowd on your side. Like when people are doing Greco-Roman wrestling or even the NCAA, there are people gathered, but they're not chanting like boo and yay and all this kind of shit. Like if one of the wrestlers win, you're automatically clapping, you're not like just going boo, yay, because they're exchanging shots and stuff, so I just find it kind of stupid that people would, share Moxley's views on this stuff. And it's like, why doesn't no one question him? Why doesn't no one push him back? And this is the same guy that apparently threw his phone into the fire and then told Renee about it. So like, what? You're gonna take some advice or some words and cheer for someone that like threw their phone in the fire, and then in the same breath was like, this is wrestling, the purest form, there's no rules, there's no characters, and blah blah blah. And it's like, well, then you can't be a character, man. You never knew how to develop a character. That's what I'm getting at. Why does somebody who cannot create a character, get over as, no, I'm saying it wrong. Listen, apparently he threw his phone in the fire. Okay, he threw his phone in the fire and somehow FaceTime Renee to be like, look what I did. I don't know, but he threw his phone in the fire according to the picture that I have and the picture that was going around on social media. But I will say this though, that like, he couldn't just donate it. Dude, I don't even think it was a matter of donating the phone at that very moment. I really don't think so. It was just maybe he got fed up, There's just a string of weird shit that happens whenever he's out in the wild of like, his comments about social media, about taking social media off your phone, which I sort of agree to an extent. However, we sort of became the nation and like the leaders in using social media, weaponizing social media, and even using social media for good. So like, as much as we should use social media for good and be less on social media and more out into the real world, it is what it is. I wish we really weren't so enthralled with our social media and what we have to do and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I will say this though, that like, if he can't develop a character, why is he getting so much praise? And then when you ask people what is his character, they all say that he's a badass. He's a badass. He's a badass. He's a badass. It's like someone could be a badass for so long, but never truly be a badass. You know what I mean? It's not social media. It's the likes that are the problem. And I totally get that. I totally get that comment. However, it's one of the same. It really is. Like, social media is the big umbrella, and then underneath social media we could definitely say that the likes are the problem, because it's really unfortunate that, like, if someone puts up something like a picture or like something, whatever the case may be, they'll get like so many likes versus somebody that ends up doing something good or drawing or something they're proud of. They get no likes, and people equate likes to this is how many people love you, this is how many people see it, and all this kind of shit. Like, it warps your mind. I totally get that. So to me, that comment is one and the same, man. I put likes on your stuff sometimes on social media, man. Whenever like your tweets pop up, even though like your responses to certain people, MD, I'm just like, bro. I'm just like, oh God. You're not wrong though. That's the thing. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay, cool. I appreciate that too, dude. And I appreciate whenever you come around and see my tweets and help me out. But yeah, man, your tweets are your tweets and your responses are fucking wild. So sometimes, like, when I scroll through Twitter and I see your stuff, I'm just like, okay, cool, you're doing your thing. Some wild ass shit I be seeing, some wild ass shit that you guys be like teaching me and stuff like that. And I'm like, do I need to? Do I really need to? Do I really need to know this? But then I'm like, yeah, I never know. You never know when you might end up needing it for like talking to people. Yeah, you do have some wild opinions. But yeah, I think, because now I'm just going off the top of my head for the Moxie stuff. Knowledge is power. Totally agree with that. Like, even if like I don't know certain things, like if someone can teach me something that I don't know, I will be very appreciative of it. Very, very appreciative. Oh, I thought I finally got blocked by somebody on Twitter. Just because, like, okay, that was my weird. Um Trying to teach me some things. Um so this was on Twitter that I had responded to. Um Adam Pierce blocked me on Twitter for saying his suit game is trash. Oh, is that why he did that? Oh, I listen, man. Like, sometimes, sometimes the block button can be your friend or your worst enemy, or like somewhere in between. Like, it fucking happens. But I don't think his suit game is trash. Like, his suit game is good. But then again, I'm not really a big fan of suits. I mean, certain people look right in a suit, while certain people don't look right in a suit. Yeah, I know you told me that one. You told me about that one. You know, but also, like, for us to get better on social media, like, we shouldn't go keep on dogpiling on top of somebody. That's why people tend to like block other people, because they've heard it all day and probably all week, the same shit. Why are you trying to get Nick Aldis to block you, bro? What is up with that? Why are you doing that? You don't need to do that. You really don't need to. Um, I don't know why you want the trifecta. You used to wear suits to work every day. His suit game is trash. Listen, man, you're gonna have to send me over a picture of you in the suit, and then I'll be like, all right, let's see. But you know, um, but yeah, I mean, like, I'm not like a big person on like suits. Like, I don't even like wearing dressy clothes like that, even like I try to keep it as casual as I can so I can be comfortable, but I'm not going to show up to an event that is meant to be a little bit dressy up in like shorts and a t-shirt. Like, I'm not going to do that. But I I just like to be comfortable, like a casual type of thing. Okay, so like, let me just read this out so I could get like the John Moxley stuff off of my chest, and then like we could go into Jacob Fatu and stuff and watch some stuff. So this is like before the show. So Moxley ends up saying that Bloodsport is his favorite to wrestle in because the rules are everything that is pure about pro wrestling, and it's a test of the highest skills. No, you're not going to get me in the sundress. You're not going to get me in any dresses. Like, that would have to be a big donation or something to get me in a dress. But I don't feel comfortable wearing dresses or skirts or anything like that. I am strictly like a tomboy, pants, graphic tees, and shit like that. Like, I'm not so girly, but you never know. Maybe it could be a goal we could work towards, but I'm not making any promises. And I know someone is going to watch the VOD and be like, I have the attention span of a squirrel, and try to use it against me. No, I just like interacting with all of my lovely fans that come on through and talk to me. So I might end up just like, getting distracted slightly, but that shouldn't be used against me. So again, before the show, Moxley said that Bloodsport is his favorite to wrestle in because the rules are everything that is pure about pro wrestling, and it's a test of the highest skills. First of all, you are in a MMA kind of style of a fight. Bloodsport, like I said, like blurs the lines between wrestling and MMA. Bloodsport should technically just be all MMA stuff where like you don't really use wrestling moves, even though like there's no ropes, no nothing like that. But like Bloodsport should be all the way MMA to really prove skill, because MMA is mixed martial arts, and what you get from mixed martial arts is basically, the punching, the kicking, the throwing, the technique, how to take down somebody, how to guard, how to go to a half guard, a full guard, maybe do like a full Nelson, getting them into submissions. I used to watch MMA back in the day. I used to watch UFC back in the day. I was a big fan of Rampage, Chuck Liddell, all of those guys. Why is Marshall mixing his arts? Oh my God, sir. So I used to watch UFC back in the day, and that was just straight up, they get in the octagon, they fight each other, they bust each other's face up, they end up bleeding. That is MMA. Pro wrestling in its purest form, again, is Greco-Roman wrestling, where you take the concept of what MMA is, and all you do is just using strength against the opponent and like technique and everything else that doesn't require to break bones or anything like that. The NCAA is a very good example of what it means to continue to have Greco-Roman style wrestling in schools and in, in high school and stuff like that. In my brain, I'm thinking of like the actual schools that you go to for it. Yeah, they had lizards fighting, man. It's Attack of the Lizard People. I hope no one like drops conspiracies about lizard people. Just don't do that. But yeah, it is the Greco-Roman wrestling. So it goes on to say, in his mind, Moxley's weird ass mind, there is a lot of crap in North American pro wrestling. Why does he end up always having to use crap, bullshit? Why does he not have any other vocabulary in his repertoire of speaking to say anything else? And if you're gonna say there is a lot of crap in North American pro wrestling, then why are you a wrestler? You shouldn't be tearing down professional wrestling and have fans really fluff you up, because you're disrespecting professional wrestling at this point. If you're going to say that in your mind, there's a lot of crap in North American pro wrestling. Well, if you're fed up with all the crap in North American pro wrestling, Stop being a wrestler. Go find something else. Go into MMA. Dana White could probably take you, dude. Like, go there. He continues to say, where the emphasis is on characters and various promotional elements are involved. Well, how the fuck do you think you're going to be making your millions if, like, nobody is promoting wrestling, right? How are you going to make your money if you're not promoting wrestling, if you're not telling fans, like, hey, come out to the show, you know, come buy a ticket. That ticket helps me out. Come to my merch table. You know, you can buy something. I'll pose with you with a picture if you buy like a t-shirt and like something else for like $10. Like, you have to do promotion, dude. Like, if you don't want to, then like, it just fucking bothers me. And then the emphasis is on characters. Of course it's on characters, you know, because how else did professional wrestling get so big? On characters, on memories, you know? And like, of course the comments in general are gonna be like, oh, wrestling never always had characters, and that's not true. Wrestling always had characters. If you go to like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, maybe we can make an argument, a very like 1% argument about, you know, if there was characters or not, because I could probably find something that can be a little bit of a character during those eras. You might not find a lot because they focused on the wrestling part until we got to the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s. And people started to really resonate with certain characters because wrestling is theater. You play a character in a theater play, and the character has to resonate with the audience because essentially you might be acting out a story that someone is going through, meaning like, you know, the blue collar kind of workers that do 9-to-5 jobs, and they get over the obstacles because some villain, some heel is like, oh, you'll never make it, you'll this or that, and being like really horrible with it. And they had that back in the day. You know, they had those kind of, you know, stories and characters, and the fan sees themselves in that story. Therefore, they're like, yeah, he's my favorite character because, you know, he's the underdog. He's like me. I work the same way, 9-to-5, blue collar. I hate this. I hate my boss. So we're going to go and riot. I'm going to give my support. And those are the memories that you make. So I really, if Jon Moxley can't cut it to make those memories, this is why he's saying that. And again, like, I don't like to get on him like this, and this isn't hate. This is just a critique and talking about how, like, it boggles my mind that somebody can shit on pro wrestling, but in the same breath say that they respect New Japan Pro Wrestling and that they respect wrestling. No, if you have to shit on professional wrestling by saying there is a lot of crap in North American pro wrestling, no, you don't respect it. You don't respect New Japan Pro Wrestling either. So like, either, you know what? I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep the next line to myself because I know somebody will try to use it against me. But I love professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is everything. Professional wrestling gives us a moment to escape any bullshit, even though I really don't want to use that word. Professional wrestling allows us to escape our realities for like 2 to 3 hours. If you're just watching mainstream stuff like WWE, AEW, and if you happen to watch like New Japan, MOW, the indies and stuff like that, that's awesome. That's great. You filled your life with something that's amazing that only we can create further and like further progress. So professional wrestling gives you like 2 to 3 hours to calm down, sit at home, and basically like relax for a little bit. And sometimes by taking your mind off of the stuff you're dealing with and by watching professional wrestling, it helps, gives you a clear mind. That is why I get so passionate about talking about wrestling and really trying to hammer home that Moxley is not the savior you think he is, and Moxley is not the be all end all of professional wrestling. And really pointing out that like he shits on wrestling, but yet that wrestling pays his bills. So I'm trying to find the logic in this. How do you shit on something that pays your bills? You don't do that. There's a way to talk about how to change wrestling and the stuff you don't like about wrestling, but then that means there goes your weakness. If he doesn't want to do character work, there goes his weakness. And people are starting to see his weakness. The only people that really are cheering for him are the ones that are really blinded and don't want to see the truth about it. And if you do see the truth about it, make sure you tell him somehow to be like, bro, we want you to get better. We want you to improve. Like, there's no way that wrestling is going to improve. There's no way that you're going to improve if all you're going to do is shit on the one income that you have. Because imagine telling Moxley, oh, if this doesn't work out, you could start streaming. He ain't gonna know how to stream for like an extra income if he doesn't want to go do a 9-to-5 job or something. And then the money off of his book is not gonna save him either, because I have a publishing certificate. So I had to go through classes to understand the publishing world. And when you sign your rights away for like your first book deal, man, is it fucking brutal for what they do to you in the industry. So maybe if he like did the self-publishing way, which he still would have promoted his own book, because you have to promote the things that you fucking love, right? If he went the self-publish way, he would be fine by making money every single month. Fine. But because he went the traditional way and sold his rights off to the housing the publishers, the housing publishers, to the publishers, they basically gave him an advance. And hopefully by the amount of books that he sold, that advance is basically returned to the publishing house. So like, there are just things that he says and no one questions him on it. I have no problem questioning him on it, because through conversation, you can understand someone's logic. You guys can find a common ground. You guys can understand each other more with perspectives and stuff like that. So there's a reason why I go so hard, is because everyone around him is just kissing his ass. And it's like, hello, there's like a weird thing that's happening here that like, it's not adding up. There's no logic with it. So getting back to this, that like, of course there's going to be emphasis on characters, because like I said, it wasn't until the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and currently, we really heavily invested in characters. Like, you have to create a story for someone to fall in love with, for someone to gravitate towards with, because then you're making money, you know? But wrestling also gives us a clear idea on how to solve our own problems, how to solve our own obstacles. Like, for example, I don't know why my brain wanted to do the whole Austin McMahon thing, but it's the idea of that, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin represented like all the 9-to-5 workers that was treated horribly by their boss, and that gave people a relief in a way to watch somebody like them go against their boss that was completely freaking mean as hell and did everything in the book to try to stop them. And basically, like, people saw themselves in that story. So, you know, that's a story to gravitate towards too. And that's a memory that we will always talk about. Let me see, what else? People related to the Nation of Domination. Self-explanatory for that. People related to what, like, you know, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi was doing for the Golden Lovers, and what the Young Bucks was doing at the time when they were pretty good in you know, New Japan Pro Wrestling and stuff like that. The stories that were told on being the elite and stuff. There's a reason why characters are needed. There's a reason why promotion is needed, because if you don't promote yourself, then you really don't love what you do. If you don't promote yourself, no one is going to do it for you. There may be people that would do it for you to be like spreading the word and stuff, but if you don't do it, then you don't believe in yourself, and you should believe in yourself. MD is being amazing in chat. Like, I see your comments even though I'm going off, but like this shit really fucking bothers the hell out of me. You saw yourself in The Rock and you saw yourself in CM Punk. Okay, a little side story. I too saw myself in CM Punk, I guess, if that makes any sense. When I say it out, I'm just like, I don't know if that sounds right, but for me to be this talkative, this confident, really helped with me basically being a huge fan of CM Punk. I am no longer a huge fan of CM Punk after he threw everybody under the bus and went on Colt Cabana's podcast and did all that kind of stuff. And then I just fell completely out of being a fan of CM Punk. But before all of that, I was a huge CM Punk fan, and because he was the voice of the voiceless, it helped me find my voice. You see how that works, where this all ties together. CM Punk kept you off of drugs until you found weed. Look, man, at least he kept you off of drugs, and now you like mellow out and stuff. But the idea that like Punk was able to be my voice of the voiceless in a way, and that's why he's one of the best. And then now coming back, he's a totally different person. My whole point of this is that wrestling basically slows down life for us for a little bit to think about how can we solve things, how can we make things better. And sometimes through wrestling, through these characters, that helps you. Now, I will say that sometimes wrestling fans, when it comes to Jon Moxley, are so obsessed with his personal life. Stop being obsessed with his personal life. We're talking about professional wrestling. We're talking about kayfabe. We're talking about character building. We're talking about angles. We're talking about stories. Do not come into the comments and say anything about his personal life, because that's not the point of the conversation. That really isn't. No one should be stalking any other wrestler in their personal life. Keep it wrestling, keep it kayfabe. That's why I do not talk about any kind of rumors. I don't talk about dirt sheets unless I have to. But other than that, we're talking about kayfabe, we're talking about wrestling here. That is actually true. I'm going to agree with MD in the chat by saying that wrestling helped me gain confidence to give speeches. Yeah. I even took a speech class in college just because I had to. Those random ass college courses that you have to take for your degree, Sir, what? Where does that comment come from? Where does that comment come from? Okay, so Jon Moxley goes on to say, while Bloodsport matches are without any of the unnecessary stuff, as wrestlers only can rely on their own skill. I would just like to say and point out that wrestling is different from MMA. You can see the huge difference in how Shayna Baszler had to adapt to a wrestling style, but also trying to keep her MMA stuff. The same way of Lola Vice. Lola Vice also has to adapt to a wrestling style, even though she knows how to do everything. Lola Vice is amazing. But in the context of this, she would still have to sort of adapt. I know nobody really wants to talk about Ronda Rousey, but Ronda also had to adapt, but she really didn't adapt. She thought that maybe the MMA style, when she's wrestling with other women, that would go over. And in hindsight, when you look back at it, it sort of worked, didn't really work, but it's the idea of that most of these women like Sonya Deville and Carmen Petrovic, women who have like an MMA style background and that's like their bread and butter, have to adapt to the wrestling style. So, you know, this is what I'm saying, that blood sport is basically like blurring the lines between wrestling and MMA. It's not fully 100% MMA because then there's probably going to be like different rules from like the athletic commission. But if you add wrestling, they're going to think that it's going to be fake either way, even though I don't really like using fake. But, you know, the athletic commission will let blood sport happen because once you say that, oh, it's a little bit of like wrestling and maybe like MMA, it's a crossover, it's a fusion, they could get away with it. Because really, if it really was like an actual blood sport kind of thing, it'd be like MMA. But this is without the unnecessary stuff. Nothing is unnecessary in pro wrestling. It really isn't. Everything in pro wrestling is very exaggerated. Everything in pro wrestling is very, dramatic. But, you know, you might need it to tell a story. And as wrestlers only can rely on their own skills. A wrestler may not know how to, you know, I was going to be like, go to half guard or something. Like, not all wrestlers train in Greco-Roman style or MMA or, you know, not all of them are able to do NCAA stuff, you know. So I don't understand this whole, in their own skill. Like, most wrestlers know wrestling. That wrestling can translate over to like maybe some MMA stuff, like strikes, kicks, takedowns. But in reality, like, not really. Not too much. So sometimes I really wonder about Jon Moxley. I really do. And you know, Moxley could just say that he wants to do MMA. If he goes into MMA, you know, that would be fantastic. Some wrestlers barely know wrestling. Yeah, that's kind of true too. It looks like, you know, everyone starts somewhere, right, MD? Like, everybody starts somewhere to where they end up doing that. There's also another. What else did I want to mention about Moxley that oh yeah, there's also a video of like Josh Barnett doing the swing on Moxley, and then like he swings him into the post, and then Moxley hits his ribs on the post, and then when he falls out to the ring, he's looking around as if like he's gonna blade, and I'm like, bro, man, like, you need to work with a magician to like learn how not to make it so obvious. And if you hit your ribs on the post, like, you should be screaming out in pain. You should be like, the referee should be down there and be like, bro, I don't think you can continue, you know, if you hit your ribs on a exposed metal post like that, like, that's gonna freaking hurt. It's gonna be bruised. I've lifted one of those posts before because it's basically a ring post, and they use that thing is like freaking heavy and shit, and everybody is like, yo, be careful when you lift it and stuff. Like, it's heavy, you know. I used to do ring crew, so like all that shit is heavy. But yeah, I just wish that people would like understand that Moxley is not the savior. Moxley is not a genius. Moxley is the weakest third person in the Shield. If I ever get a panel together and we talk about the Shield, like, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns have excelled where Moxley has regressed. So, you know, it's one of those of like, what the hell, man? Yep, it's definitely heavy. It's and you have to hold it a certain way too. I'll just leave it there. I do want to quickly mention that if you guys haven't seen on Twitter that like Adam Pearce has said that Chad Gable is clear to wrestle, and I just have a theory. And here's my theory. My theory is that because we saw the Wyatt Six or sick um attack everybody, and Chad Gable had like blood coming down from his temple, that this new Chad Gable that we're getting is from an alternate timeline, from a parallel universe. I may be thinking too much into like fantasy and sci-fi and like what the Marvel universe is doing, but I really do think that it is what do you call it? Um it's a parallel Gable. It's a parallel Gable. Chad Gable being dead on Monday made me sad, Gable. Yeah, man, I wasn't expecting to see him there at all like that. I really was not expecting him to see that. Um, all right. So, other than that, I am going to take a mini break, and then we'll come back. We'll watch the highlights of SmackDown. We'll talk about it. We'll even watch like a. Hopefully, we could be able to watch a match of Jacob Fatu and stuff. Um, but yeah, I would be right back. Okay. Um, Let me take this out. Let me make sure that no, I need that. Cool. So I don't know what happened first on WWE SmackDown in terms of like what I'm seeing here and what's given to me. I know that I am going to get copyrighted for this. So give me a second here. Um yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Let me just the sound is gonna be muted on the stream. But I wanna see um I wanna see something. Okay, I would definitely get so is it just his entrance? It's just his entrance. that that dude. Okay. Just his entrance. Okay, so that's not it. So then I'm gonna have to play from here. I guess we're gonna have to like react to this in a way. Um yeah, okay, so that's not it. That's definitely not it. um Definitely not it. Okay. I just need to remind myself how I did this. This is why I have to like stream on the daily. Or is it this that has no. Can I add no, I could add a filter to this. I didn't know that. What can I do here? Um no, it's not gonna be color correction. No, it might be color correction. Yes, it is. It's color correction. That's not oh wait, what am I no, can I go back to yeah. Put defaults. Um I could have just messed with the video this whole time. I could have just messed with the video this whole time. Like I didn't have to. Well, I mean, the other stuff helps me. All right. So let's test this out. Let's test this out. Oh, sorry guys. Hold on. I still feel like it's not what do you call it?
What's the favor you wanted to ask of me if I do?
All right. I'm going to have to like play this over and over again. So you got to bear with me here. Cuz I'm trying something. See, this has chroma key. Maybe I don't need that. No, I do need it. Okay, so yeah, that's what I want. Okay.
Paul, what's the favor you wanted to ask of me if I do you this favor?
Okay.
Take me with you?
That's like freaking perfect. The response is definitely perfect, and yeah, I really love that.
Solo, wait, Solo.
We're still live everywhere else, right? Because oh my god, I sometimes I wonder if I'm ever gonna have like a really just seamless kind of stream. Twitch gives me a problem now for some odd reason. Okay. I don't understand why Twitch ends up giving me a problem.
Solo, I acknowledge the fact that I don't see the Bloodline standing in front of me. I see a bunch of fake-ass Usos. And a phony cosplay tribal chief.
Oh my god. See, Punk knows how to get under people's skins. That's why Paul is all like, in the corner cowarding and just reacting in a very very good way. Very good acting, very good feeling, emotion, and maybe to an extent switched hold on. Maybe to an extent CM Punk is right that we're seeing a cosplay tribal chief and like the Uso ripoffs. Like I don't know, maybe he's right. I don't know. I might gotta switch to a new streaming app. I really don't want to. I mean, YouTube and Twitch is fine for me. I just might have to fix something on the YouTube side of things. But yeah, the other one that I may or may not would be Kick. Um, yeah, so I'll be good with Twitch. It's just um something, man. Oh, you meant like Streamlabs? I mean, Streamlabs got their stuff from OBS because OBS is an open broadcast software, so anybody could take the code and like make it their own and be like, "Oh, this is our new thing." But with Streamlabs, I gotta pay for a lot of shit that I want to use. So yeah, definitely not Streamlabs. By the way, it's for me, Streamlabs is not as I don't want to use the word diversify and like what I could do. Um, it might just be Twitch itself because lots of people have been having problems with like Twitch, but like for me, over on the Twitch side, it always says that failed to upload like module, like just to see the admit stuff. Like sometimes that shit gets wonky. And that's the only thing that like doesn't really work. So I would love to be able to use Streamlabs, but you got to pay for almost everything on Streamlabs, and even the free shit that they give you, it's like they force you to pay for the other stuff. All right, let's keep going. So they get into a fight. And here comes Cody Rhodes, right? Cody comes out next. Oh, yeah. Okay, see, I thought that Cody... Oh, that makes a lot more sense now. That makes a lot more sense. And then the Bloodline is retreating. Smart on them. But that makes sense now why they had the baseball bats. Because I didn't know why there was baseball bats involved.
You fashion yourself the head of the table, right? Damn right. I've already beaten one head of the table.
Ah.
So why don't you leave your family backstage? Kevin and Randy won't accompany me, and we settle this here. We settle this tonight. You got it. For the undisputed WWE.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not technically going to get copyright for Cody Rhodes' theme song because it's from Downstate. Downstate does follow me. They're awesome guys. And I always on Twitch would play us out whenever I'm done with a stream. I will always play Cody Rhodes' theme song. Always. And I helped with them getting so many downloads and listens. But I always played us out to Cody Rhodes' theme song. Maybe I should do it this time and see what happens. But I believe it's baseball season. Like, I know nothing about baseball season or baseball itself. So, yeah, maybe it is. Man. All right. So that was that. The Cody Rhodes segment and stuff like that. Okay, so that's how that happened. I think I skipped something. Oh well. Because again, I didn't.
Oh, no, you don't.
I can't skip this. I hate this so much.
Thanks. You're too kind. I've heard
I hate ads within ads.
The Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card.
Okay, so I think I might have went too far ahead, but oh well. We'll watch this. How we watch this. Your city has 2 baseball teams like mine. Yeah, man, we have 2 baseball teams, but I don't follow baseball. Listen, I really don't follow baseball. I am like through and through wrestling, and that's it. Wrestling is all I know, which is not sad. It's my happy place. It is. It's my happy place. Last time on my podcast, I had mentioned, because I reviewed Clash of the Castle, and I had mentioned how it's very interesting how wrestling fans have all of a sudden started chanting, "We want Roman," and making Roman into a babyface while he is not there. That is the power of having an organic babyface of a turn in professional wrestling. Now, in the future, I will be doing a video because I do have a series called Inside the Locker Room where I look up, not really look up, where I discuss wrestling terminology. The latest one is workhorse, where it's a conversation about what exactly is a workhorse in professional wrestling, and like what wrestler is a workhorse, what it means, all this kind of stuff. Like I really do a deep dive into it, and I'm very analytical about it. And so I just wanted to continue to do something for that series inside the locker room. And I guess the next couple of terms I will be looking up and discussing and presenting to you guys is probably the word aura and what do you call it? And babyface, heel, and talk about that, because for some reason I saw not too long ago on YouTube another wrestling content creator talking about there's like 3 different ways. So like a babyface to them, they heard is like a really goody two shoes in a way. And then there's face. And people would say that Stone Cold Steve Austin was a face. He was like the in-between. And then a heel is obviously the bad guy. That is all wrong. There is no babyface, face, heel. You get the word face, F-A-C-E, from babyface. So when we talk about a face, we talk about Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is a baby face. He's a face. We just dropped the baby in front of it because we really don't really have to use it. It's understood in context that baby face is face, therefore they are a good guy. So a good guy could be a face. There is no like in between or whatnot. If you want a word for like in between, something like Stone Cold Steve Austin that was like anti WWE, anti Vince McMahon, anti the system, he's just an anti wrestler. We didn't really like, you know, like what MD says here, that Stone Cold was an anti-hero. He's an anti-hero, meaning that he's an anti-babyface, because babyface is like the hero, the good guy. But yeah, we just say anti-hero. We don't say face. If someone says to you that, you know, this person is a face, they're automatically a baby face. They're automatically the good guy. We just happen to drop the word baby in front of face, and it's easier to say that in conversation. And MD is right. Deadpool is like the biggest anti-hero, anti-baby face that there is, because you can't put him in a category of heel or face. Heel or baby face. So if anyone out there ever says to you that such and such is a face, and you know they're not, because they're not a baby face, they do things against the system, against the rules. If someone is breaking the rules, if someone is creating their own rules, they are the anti-hero. This goes back to being a writer. This goes back to how novels are created, how characters are created, how story is created, is by having all of these signature beats that we all know, all these elements that are necessary to get yourself over. So if anyone in the wrestling community is basically like, oh, this person is a face, no, we don't have 3 terms. We have baby face, which is one word. You can't just use face if you want to. We have heel, and then we have the anti-hero, which there's not many of them in professional wrestling. And aura is definitely overused in the IWC, and I will say this right here, right now, that Jey Uso is the only special wrestler that gets to use aura. No other person gets to use it. Cody Rhodes has somewhat of an aura because people do sing his song. People do like what he does, and he commands the crowd by everybody going, whoa. But Jey Uso has perfected what it means to have an aura, to be that huge ass rock star. Like if I ask you guys, like, who is your favorite like rock star, pop star and whatnot, you guys will give me different answers. Essentially, those guys have that big of an aura because everybody knows who they are, how they feel when they see stuff. So Jey Uso is the only one that can get that word of aura. Nobody else. Because Jey Uso just commands the crowd a different way, man. He is your best friend. He's your best friend of like 20 plus years that has seen everything. And, you know, he's there with you from the good, the bad, the ugly, the decent. You know, there are people that probably do have aura, But when you get to command a sea of fans the way that Jey Uso does, then like that's his word. That is his word. Jade also has aura. Jade has aura. Rhea Ripley, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that because like I'm not too huge of a Rhea Ripley fan. I just don't get I just don't get it. She's good. She you know what it is? WWE has not put her against somebody that can really like showcase what she can do. I enjoy what she gives, like, you know, I enjoy what I watch, but sometimes I'm just like I don't get it. I really don't. Seth Rollins had aura before he became, you know, him wearing like all the weird ass clothing and shit and being like over the top. He had aura before that, to me. You know, as much as I like don't really care for Kanye, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you that like he has an aura. There's something about him that like ends up people talk about, you know. But Kanye is just not my style. Logan Paul, man, as much as I do not like Logan Paul on like a personal level, on a sports level, on a wrestler level, I will give him his flowers. He does have an aura, but like his aura is like just to punch him in the face. The Rock has aura, Roman has aura, and Stone Cold had aura. I mean, it's kind of funny how we are putting the word aura on like the Attitude Era guys and the current era guy, Roman Reigns. It really is. It's really interesting to really think about it. Yeah, I mean, I totally get that like, I do agree with the definition that aura means to have a distinctive presence that changes a room. It does, but you know, if someone could just change the room, that doesn't necessarily mean it's aura, you know? This is why Jey Uso set the bar so high for when we talk about who has aura, you know? But I do think that it'll be a fun conversation to talk about like who in the past had aura and like use that definition of it being distinctive, having a distinctive presence, because we could definitely say that the older wrestlers had different types of aura in their like, you know, thing. Oh, the Fiend, the Fiend's entire career was aura, but we're only using it now for Jey Uso, but 100% that the Fiend like had aura. Roman is up there with Stone Cold and The Rock now. Roman is up there with Cena and all the greats. I don't know. I don't know about that. That one is going to be a very, very interesting debate. That's going to be a definitely interesting debate. Because I just like my wrestling a certain way, so you know that'll be an interesting debate. There's definitely levels to aura. There is. That's why like if I ever wanted to do a video explaining aura to like fans who are just strolling on by, I should say scrolling on by on YouTube, it might be a little difficult and I might miss something. And you know somebody you know will probably tell me in the comments, oh, you missed this. Yeah, dude, listen, Roman to me, man, like Roman is interesting. His character development is interesting. I didn't like the fact that like, you know, he wasn't always there, but then I realized after the fact that he has become a special attraction, but at the same time it sort of hurt his team. Listen, I just don't like the way he was presented most of the time. Even though I watched the Roman Reigns documentary and that did put a lot of things into perspective. But if we're really talking about like You know, is Roman truly up there with the greats? I don't know. I might be on the fence of like, in certain instances, yeah. In certain situations, yeah. But overall, nah. You know, nah. I said for years that all Roman needed to do was take off the vest and change his music. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one. But Roman is definitely gonna be like a polarizing figure to talk about, like on a panel of people, and be like, do we put him in the conversation of the greats? Do we not put him in the conversation of the greats? Does he belong in his own little section because he carried the company with that title belt? Like, there's a lot to factor into that can create very good conversation. And this is what the wrestling community is missing, is actual conversation that we can just talk about, you know? Rather than trying to clout chase, rather than trying to engagement farm and stuff, like actual conversation with people that like saw everything and talk about it from a kayfabe perspective, a wrestling perspective, and try to keep emotion out of it, you know, to the best of our ability. Just because of like Roman bothers people different ways, you know. There are people that won't acknowledge him. Me, I played it up. I played it up that I wouldn't, you know, acknowledge him. There's another real tribal chief that I am friends with that I would always acknowledge, and he knows that, which is not Roman, because I'm not close with Roman or friends with Roman. Roman doesn't even know I exist. But another actual tribal chief does know I exist. So I will always acknowledge him. But other than that, like, you know, I would just play around with people and be like, I'm not acknowledging Roman. And then having to see his story play out in the final days of him being champion, it's sort of like, good job, bro. You did a very, very good job. I'll acknowledge you for that. You know, but he's not the tribal chief. So who is the tribal chief, MD? Is it going to be Rikishi? Rikishi's going to be the tribal chief, right? Because if you guys notice, whenever Rikishi tweets out on Twitter, that's like my highlight moment of the day, you know? Man's was champion for like 4 years. Yeah, man. He was like champion for 4 years. But yeah, getting back to the original point that like, I find it amazing that the WWE universe has created Roman Reigns to be a babyface automatically. I am friends with an actual tribal chief. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, MD. I'm friends with an actual tribal chief. Okay. So, you know, Roman is not the tribal chief. There's only one that I would acknowledge. Roman has so much R, he even gave his cousin some. I mean, that's very debatable, but I can see that if we want to turn that into like a story or something.
There's about one person in this world that can hijack my promo and get him to chant Roman Reigns, and it's you. I forgive you. Come on in. You don't. Are you all right? You don't.
Oh my God. This is so great. Aw,
I'm sorry. I needed that.
it's debatable.
I came out here because driving in on the radio, we're listening to sports radio, and they say on the radio that Chicago is CM Punk's town. And that really pissed off Solo. Because Solo, now that he's now now that he's the head of the table,
Oh my god, this is so great. So great.
Solo wants every town to be his town, and I came out here to do you a favor, and I want a favor back. The favor
Oh.
I came out here because any day you're going to get medically cleared, and anybody that steps up to you are going to learn that they are inside the ring with the best in the world. And if you don't get out of here right now, they're coming out here for you.
Oh, okay, so I did skip ahead.
And that's not going to do anybody any good because you can see the extra security that is now here and the extra security that is in the locker room. And that's
Paul Heyman is the best, man.
or anybody else that wants to cause trouble. Not for a bunch of rogue Samoans and Tongans that are taking this way out of proportion. So the favor that I'm doing for you is to say to you with love and respect that against your own instincts, please get the hell out of here right now.
Oh, this is so great. So I'm guessing after that was when everyone comes out, right? I'm guessing that's when that happens. And then Solo saying that Roman isn't coming back. That was sort of like a what the fuck? I know at that moment I was like, yo, he's just playing with everybody. Like ooh, excuse me. Solo is going down a path that might end up being regrettable, like very, very regrettable. Solo is gaslighting, I guess. I mean, what's the best way to get into Paul Heyman's head? Like, no one truly got into Paul Heyman's head quite like this way. So I guess, yeah, Solo is gaslighting, telling Paul Heyman that Roman is never coming back. You know, Solo is playing the mind games. This one's a little bit more dangerous because essentially Paul Heyman cannot really defend himself because he's not a wrestler. So it's sort of like, he has to turn to other people to do what he needs to do. And that is to be safe. With a new sleeve, maybe. I mean, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that he might end up getting some more tribal tattoos. I mean, it's very possible that he could end up doing that. The same way that I think it was Jimmy or Jay. I think it was Jay, when he got his back done. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go get my back done and I'll be right back," and stuff like that. And then the full match. We're gonna watch the full match of Jacob Fatu attacking Cody Rhodes because we are all here to celebrate Jacob Fatu. We're all here to celebrate Jacob Fatu. Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. I did find the match to be short. So I did find the match to be sort of short, and they actually did call for a DQ, which I was like, yeah, when's the last time they called for a DQ? Like that's the most weirdest thing when I'm like hearing this and I hear like it's a DQ, the bell goes off and stuff, and I was like, DQ already? Like, man, we're gonna take it home that fast? By the way, for anyone out there that wants to upgrade their wrestling knowledge, if I say, go home, it basically just means to try to get the pin, submission, like 1, 2, 3, that's it, get the victory, go home. That's what it means. So don't let other people who don't know wrestling terminology tell you something different. It just, yeah, if someone says, take it home or go home, means to finish the match, wrap it up, and go. That was mad weird.
Beating the WWE champion Cody Rhodes now would be an epic night.
It would be an epic night, but that's not happening. And then Cody Rhodes doing that signature like drop down slap was Matt early. And then a suicide dive. Why are people doing suicide dives a lot more? Can we like slow down on that? Like, we really don't need to do that anymore. Using the stairs. Cody Rhodes ain't fooling me. I know who he really is. Take it home, Sally. See, they did a callback to when Solo was in NXT by saying taking it to the street champ. I don't know if they're gonna bring that back. I don't know if they should bring that back. But for those of you that are here with me, and those of you that are going to be watching this on the VOD, and if you made it this far, thank you for making it this far. But I was going to say, did anyone enjoy Solo's run in NXT as being this street champion, this street fighter? And I think that would have worked if they would have kept it a little bit longer, and then I don't know, they wanted, if they did implement it when he got to the main roster and when he's at Roman's side, like, because he's an enforcer, I think they could have like used the street champ thing, the moniker, a little bit more. Yeah, he was using it for a little bit. I'm just saying that if they would have kept it on him, right? So like, we know now he's been the enforcer for a good while, right? It would have been very interesting for him to continue to be the street champ and also be like the enforcer, like to really explore that. Can't be a chief if you're a champ of the street. I mean, you can, because then people ain't gonna fuck with you. That's the whole point. Like, if he's a street champion and he fights with his bare hands and beats the shit out of people, he could become chief, because then he basically overtook the Bloodline. He's like, Roman was too weak. He went back home. By the way, Roman Reigns, where are the rest of your like videos? Because he's like day one in preparation for trying to get back, and he was on the treadmill. Roman, where are the rest of the videos? I'm waiting for them. That's probably why he's bringing all these thugs. Probably. But yeah, like, he kicked out Roman. Well, he didn't really kick out Roman, but he sensed Roman was weak in certain parts throughout the whole entire Bloodline story. There were certain parts where like Solo was like, bro, why are you showing weakness? Like, get the fuck up. We got to go do this shit. So yeah, I mean, he took over. He saw the weakness, took over, and remade the Bloodline and getting all these thugs. Which, by the way, I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a quick little break. Wrong thing. Let me take this off and let me. I need to get like a be right back sign. I haven't made one. I should make one, but just give me a second. Okay.
to the kidney of Solo Sikoa. Still managing to shake it off.
I'm not entirely sure Cody Rhodes isn't still up the same.
Yeah, I need some background music or something.
Castle in a vicious I Quit match with the phenomenal AJ Styles. That's the type of mode Cody's going to need to exist in tonight if he wants any chance of toppling Solo.
And then here comes the guys, DQ. Here comes our boys, Tama and Loa. Love these guys. And then we actually get like a DQ, man. And then here comes Randy and Kevin. I don't know. I just don't think like, I don't know. Really? You gonna Timon and Pumbaa? Oh my god, man. That's hilarious. And Paul Heyman is Rafiki? Oh my god, sir. And then Solo over here, it like ends up laughing. And then, well, I mean, he pleads and then laughs. And then this man, by the way, this is the first time that Jacob Fatu wears any kind of shoes to the ring. This guy is always barefooted, man. And I really love the way that commentary said it, dude. I love the way that, you know, what the hell has he done? He brought in one of the baddest people on the planet to come in. And that Samoan drop onto Kevin Owens onto the steel steps. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Everybody is like, yo, what the fuck just happened? You know. And then I was like, Randy, are you okay? Because he speared him. I was like, Randy, are you all right, man? Jacob is another beast, man. Another kind of beast in this business. And it's so glad to watch him and stuff. And then attacking Cody. Cody with his, like, whatever superpower he has left. The crowd is all like, oh, what's this? Very lawless. I don't know why they're saying Solo. What has he done, man? Like, Solo made a good choice by bringing Jacob over. Homelander Cody, yeah. And then this, for him to do the splash, I thought he was gonna do like a swanton in a way, because he does that too. But this is a thing of beauty, man. A thing of beauty. That is a thing of beauty. To see it live as well too, because he's done it live, is amazing. Super amazing. Oh. Gave it away. Seriously, best choice to get for WWE. Works best in WWE, would not have made it in AEW. AEW would have just been a payday with nothing. And the craziness of Jacob. And you see this, right? You see how this plays out? Do you see how it plays out of like, as soon as Solo ends up hugging Jacob Fatu, the two of them end up throwing up the ones, and they did not wait for Tama and Loa. And that says something. That really does. As much as like Solo is the one that has brought in Tama, Loa, and Jacob. This right here is telling a very important story beat, and then we're gonna have to see how it plays out on WWE television because Roman sort of waited in a way for everyone to be in the ring when he decided to do something. When he decided to throw up the ones, everybody was there and everybody followed suit. When Solo is doing it, Solo and Jacob are doing it before Tama and Loa could get into the ring, and that's why Tama and Loa in the next little frame, you're gonna see them make eye contact of like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And as long as I like follow Tama and Loa, they've done everything as a group, and then in Bullet Club, they've done everything as a group. So this is sort of like, you know, not really a group thing. It's more like Solo and Jacob taking control rather than it being like a group thing. See, this is what I was talking about. The next frame where both of them come in, the shot, it's fantastic. All they did was just zoom out. And both of them are looking at each other like they probably did not know that Jacob was coming in. Or everything happened so fast to the point of like, what the fuck is really going on? And then they slowly and reluctantly, maybe not reluctantly, I don't want this to implode way too quick, but they end up looking at each other, and then they cautionly, I think caution is the best word here, they cautionly put up the ones in conjunction with Solo and Jacob. Loa over here is hilarious because Loa is like giving Jacob like the side eye in a way, and then Tama's just like straight because Tama's like, whatever, it's what the boss wants, I'm gonna look straight and just throw up, you know, the ones, like let's just throw it up. And then Loa finally, like, you know, like, all right, I'll look straight. But that was like super, super chaotic. And I loved it. I really, really, really loved it so much. I love that Jacob debuted it. I'm so happy for him. The sky's the limit with him and the whole Bloodline thing. And I really am enjoying what we're getting. And yeah, to MD's point, no one really makes it in AEW, and the only people who make it in AEW have kissed the ring of Tony Khan. Yeah. I do. I love some chaos. Not the group though, but I do love some chaos. It's gonna be great, man. I'm along for the ride. I'm not really gonna question too much of it because I want to be surprised. I don't want to like try to figure it out and whatnot. I could say this though, that there was a post going around about Hikuleo's now new name, and I'm like, you guys are spreading misinformation, and then gullible fans are gonna fall for it, and it's not gonna help anybody. It's sad that in a world, oh, we missed the McIntyre thing. Okay, we'll watch that in a second. It is really stupid that we live in a world where people want to be first about something, about anything, because they don't know how to be original. And that is the most saddest thing to do. The most saddest thing. They don't have the full segment.
Switch to Chrome to protect yourself from malware, so you can surf without getting phished.
Okay. I guess it wasn't that long. Hikuleo. This this shot is a thing of beauty. This shot is a thing of beauty. It is the best clean shot for what's happening. Wait, oh crap. That's not
Let me guess. You don't want to use lotion even though your skin is dry?
sorry. My fault. Drew is not a loser, man. Oh, you don't know Hikuleo? Okay, that's fine. I mean, eventually, I'll talk about Hikuleo. I mean, I have in the past. Drew carrying CM Punk is a sight, man. It's definitely a sight to be seen. This is the most like, I'm gonna say chaotic thing again, but and then the camera just follows him. Very smooth, seamless. People boo. And what, he just drops him? Hikuleo sounds like a Pokemon. Well, I have a story for you. Damn, he just threw him. All that blood, man. Definitely taking him out. Definitely pushing this this whole feud. Drew has blood on him, man. It's gonna be so good for the payoff. So good for the payoff. And then he took the bracelet. Apparently the bracelet has like AJ Lee's like name on it and like Larry's name on it. I mean, yeah, Punk is gonna kick his ass. I just, like I said earlier, I don't know who's gonna get the payoff. Like, who needs the payoff? It's a friendship bracelet. That's what it is. So, who do you guys think really needs the payoff here? If CM Punk ends up getting the payoff, how would you maneuver Drew McIntyre next? Listen, I know you said that you call Drew a loser and stuff, but like if we were looking at this objectively, MD, like what would be the next thing that Drew would do? And this is the same question that goes out to people who are going to watch the VOD. Like I would like I still haven't figured out what would be the next thing for Drew. If Drew were to lose, like I would not know what would be the next thing. Feed Drew to the Wyatt Six, like that just ends everything, huh? That just ends everything. Um that just ends everything. Okay.
24/7 renewing moisture.
Okay, that's not what I want. Why is it doing that?
Back and say
Um. All right, we talked about SmackDown. I do want to show off some Jacob Fatu stuff, but I might just end up like testing out like how long I go with these things. Um, you're praying for the worst for Drew, of course you are. Drew versus Gunther, I just saw that. Um, Drew versus Gunther, I guess, yeah. I guess. Um, for those of you that are gonna watch on the VOD, I have interviews up with Jacob Fatu, so it is in the catalog, and Jacob Fatu is a really fun guy to talk to. He's mad cool, man. Like he's mad cool. Um, oh, this is telling, but I don't know who this guy is, so I don't know. Um, because this video that I'm looking at right now is a fan had recorded what happened after um WWE went off the air, SmackDown went off the air, and it's the same way of like what I said that yeah, there is a little bit of like confusion. Probably like next week we'll get like some type of uh yeah, Tama and Loa are definitely like very unsure. Solo just hugging up on Jacob. Yeah. Tama and now hugs all around. Accepting Jacob and shit like that. Yeah, yeah. But it's still sort of like if you know anything about God, um God like they're smart people. Who's cousin? Are you talking about like Tama and Loa? Or like the cousins to Jacob and them? Oh my god, why? I hate when that shit does that. Like that's not okay, this isn't what I would this isn't what I wanted. Um okay. Um Jacob and Solo are blood cousins. Oh yeah. Tama and Loa are just uh I mean we could be nice and be like, yeah, they are relatives. They're just part of the family because Alpha and Sika took in Haku, so it's just all around one big happy family, like what Hispanics do. Of like you never know who's like your true uncle or aunt. You just like you know them as like your uncle and aunt, and bam, that's it. Um, you don't really ask questions. You're just like, yeah, I know this guy for years, blah blah blah. But other than that, um, I'm going to wrap it up because I sort of want to test out keeping live streaming like 2 hours and not like overdo it. Just because I want to see how the numbers work. I want to see how things happen. And maybe I should start doing them early. Like I've been saying, I wanted to do them early. Cause you know, today's Saturday, people are out. And you know, all that kind of stuff. I did enjoy going over SmackDown. I did enjoy watching SmackDown and reacting to it and talking about it and, you know, just getting all the stupid Moxie shit off of my chest because for some reason, the things that Moxie say does not, like, there's no logic in between those ears at all. I appreciate everyone though. I appreciate everyone for helping me out and stuff. The next course of action is to try and get me into get us into, I should say us, not me. Get us into the YouTube partnership program. So go out, tell a friend, share, like, comment. I read everyone's comments. I reply to everyone's comments. Just keep it civil. Just keep it, you know, awesome. I think that we both equally dislike him rather than hate him. Hate is a strong word. I'd rather use dislike because there's always room for improvement. So me and Joe Cornette probably dislike Moxley so much. He might want to use hate, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use dislike. I just want Moxley to improve. That's all. That's not a bad thing to ask for. But other than that, like, yeah, to get us into the YouTube partnership program. So share this out, tell a buddy, tell them to come to the next live stream or just to tune into when I upload videos. And I do want to take the video content creation a little bit more serious. Not like I haven't been taking it serious, but I've been like slowing down. But you know, there's a difference between like really grinding and then like picking and choosing and stuff. There's videos I want to get out. There's videos I want to create about wrestling, surrounding wrestling, because again, my channel is not about reading the dirt sheets or clowning on people or anything like that. It's from a wrestling teachable kayfabe of a moment rather than everything else. Everybody else can do the same thing. That's totally fine. And I will, you know, be there to support. But this channel here, the Square Circle Podcast, is different because I like talking about wrestling. I like discussing topics. I like talking about characters. How can characters improve? What can characters change about themselves? What wrestlers can change about themselves to get like the most maximum love and value from the fans and all that kind of stuff. So here it's basically like no script, no notes half the time, and just watching stuff. Every Tuesday I used to do Tape Study Tuesdays, and I want to bring back the Tape Study series where we get to watch wrestling and stuff. We'll see how it goes if I bring it back on a Tuesday or just have it as a regular video. I don't know, but look out on the YouTube side of things for the community tab where maybe I'll post up a poll and you guys can like answer it and stuff. Other than that, like I've been enjoying things to do kind of slowly when it comes to content creation and everything that I do. And I only want to get better. So if you guys enjoy this, then please go tell a friend. Please go share it out. Make sure to hit that follow button right here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast and over on the YouTube, on the Twitch side of things, twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows. Follow over there and whatnot. Follow all of my links. Restream has been doing a good job of like putting all my links everywhere and stuff. So I will gladly see you in some form of social media on the interwebs. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to keep going around in a circle. So I really highly appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm trying to make 2 hours basically. I'm almost there, but yeah. I don't know what happens if I play us out to the Cody Rhodes theme song. I don't know if I'm going to get hit, but either way, I'll just end it like this. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. Leave your comments down below, and again, I will read everything and comment on everything, and I'll see you next time. You know what? I've been talking without without this thing, because Jacob Fatu has arrived. It was a SmackDown reaction, and I had super 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 fun. MD, thank you so much. I did not even really give you a huge shout out, but thank you. I really appreciate you being here and chatting with me and chatting wrestling. All right, finally hit that 2 hour mark, and I'll see you guys